What's goody? I'm Gloria.
I'm Faith.
And I'm Alicia, and welcome to our very first episode of Sister Sessions. Okay, so guys, the idea of a podcast came to me probably a few months ago. If you watch the vlogs, you guys are always talking about all of the chemistry that me and my sisters have. We're always kikiing and laughing, and you always say, oh my God, you guys should have a reality show. Well, we're not going to go there, okay? No. We're not going to go there. But I figure this is a really good medium. So this is the first episode of Sister Sessions. What are you going to get here? We're going to do a little bit of everything.
Everything.
Current events. We're going to kiki. We're going to laugh. We're going to
banter.
Self-care. We're going to have a way for you guys to talk to us. So without further ado, let's get into this first episode.
Let's do it.
All right. So the first thing that we're going to have, and I think we should make this a normal thing for the podcast. You guys let us know what you want to see, but I feel like for the most part, let's have a check-in. Let's have a mental, physical, emotional check-in. So, Faith, where are you this week?
I would say the week started out a little rough, but that's only because I went a little too hard over the weekend. So I spent the second half of the weekend recovering. So that was my own fault. So I got a really slow start to the week, which I regret it because I really like to take Mondays and just jump right into the gym. I've already meal prepped. I didn't meal prep till today, so that gives you an indication of how slow
Week almost over.
I still went to the gym. I still went to the gym Monday, so went to the gym Tuesday. So I just had a very slow start to the week because I was out watching basketball and living my best life over the weekend. That
was tough because they lost.
We don't have to talk about the loss. Thank you. But that's what led to the bender. I had a good time that night, just not during the game. But now that I'm fully recovered, I definitely will be ensuring that I liquid IV up next time.
I thought there wasn't going to be a next time.
I mean, no, the next time that, it's never planned. So I kind of want to keep the liquid IVs just in the car just in case. Because you just never know when a good time is going to call for a good time.
Gloria,
to need a liquid IV.
So, but yeah, other than that, my week's been great.
Okay.
Good.
Gloria?
Good. It's been cool. I'm learning to not complain. There's a lot I can complain about. But I also have learned that when stuff hits, especially when it's repeated stuff, I'm handling it in a different way, giving myself space to feel what I need to feel, and just kind of just let it flow the way it's supposed to flow. I got into my plants this week. I told you I repotted my plants this week, and my hand was just in dirt all day.
I need to replant.
And I'm going to tell you, it felt just... It made me feel like I was sitting out in front of the beach. I know that's weird because I'm in my room repotting flowers, but that's the feel. The feel you get when you're at the beach. That's the feel I got today.
In the flowers.
When I was doing my flowers. Yeah, there's some type of connection with those plants and peas, and it just... I can't complain about the week. I got some good news when it comes to school stuff, so good week. I can't let the negatives outweigh the positives.
Good.
Now that you mentioned the plants, I think my weekend started off bad because I killed my first plant on Friday.
I really don't know how you killed
and that
it so
set the tone. Well, I'm a new plant mom, as you know,
2 weeks after
and I went too hard. I started out with 14 plants. I don't know why
you would go to the extreme.
I went to Lowe's and they had them on sale. Okay,
but you have to Google what does well in the house.
I know now.
And then the east facing window and all of that stuff. If it's gonna do well.
Well, I'm only looking now for low maintenance plants because I have all my plants named. And Patricia,
I have a Patricia. Is she a pothos?
She was not a pothos because those are one of the easier ones to care for.
Yeah.
I have a little sticker. I can't remember exactly what she is, but she's yellow and
black
green.
She
overwatered her because you didn't have her long.
I think so. I will say this past time I waited 2 weeks to water my plants instead of the week.
What do you mean when you first got it? Or in between watering
sessions? In between watering sessions. I think I was very close to over-watering.
Well, I told you you're supposed to stick your finger in there, and if it comes out completely dry...
Well, since you told me that, that's how I know TikTok be listening to my voice.
Yeah.
Because this says to take a chopstick and stick it all the way down there, and then whatever part, and so when you're 50% below, dry, then you need to go ahead and water them. Yeah. So I did that this past, that's why I didn't water them last Sunday, because I was like, no, they still got too much water. So I waited a full 2 weeks and then I just watered them. But that's what kicked my weekend off bad. I lost my first plant.
R.I.P. to What was the name?
Patricia.
Not Patricia's doing well, but
I don't name my plants because I'm a normal human being.
You're supposed to.
Whoa, wait, so we're not normal because we name our plants?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I asked Gloria, was it last week? To rattle off all her plants' names. And she sat there and rattled off 14 names.
Oh, yeah, because I can tell you right now, Loki, Thanos, and Aladdin are thriving.
You know, plants are female.
Who said that?
You name me a male.
You know
that
what?
reproduce
Now that I
and
think
grow
about it,
and-
Patricia was the only woman in my house, and that's why she did. Okay? All of my other plants are named after men. No more women in the house. No more women plants in the house.
I have all women. I guess some names could be unisex, but in my head, every one of my plants they're ladies. They're my
Well, some of mine are you. So I have an August. So August is the plant that's mom's, and then the December is the one that you gave Alicia. So I call him December.
I'm coming for my plant.
You probably don't want it, friend, because she drowned it that
no,
one time.
she just saw it the other day when she came to go get her chairs out of my house, and it's got a whole new leaf and everything. It's thriving.
Look at you go.
Everybody I associate with is thriving. And
Except for
see,
Patricia.
you don't watch Insecure, so you don't get it.
No, I've only seen that one season.
But
I didn't
You've
finish
never
the first
watched
season.
it?
Listen, in my defense, I had started it. Y'all know how I am about a show.
Yes.
But I had started it, and I don't have an excuse for why I didn't finish that one, because this was before I was ever reading, and I was gonna go back, and I never went back. I've only ever
you got to go, or then you would know
up
everybody
until
that I
she was
associate
dating
with
the one guy, not the main guy.
Yes.
What was his name?
Lawrence.
Lawrence. Something happened and they broke up.
She started dating Daniel.
Yeah.
She cheated with Daniel.
And he came to some barbecue or some event she had over to her house or something.
You are so
That's the last episode.
Because she threw a little party to try to make him jealous
Yeah.
to get him. This is before she fully moved out.
Oh,
Because she's trying to get Lawrence back to come home. Anyway, you go and watch. And
I'm
then
not
we'll
gonna watch
break.
it.
Oh, yes, you are. Because then we're going to break it down.
I'm not going to watch it, but
I have to watch it again. I haven't watched it since I watched it the first time.
I probably literally watch it once a year since it's wrapped. I love it.
I just don't. You know how I'm on TV now.
And it's because you read too many books.
TV era. But just think about it. If you sat and watched Game of Thrones, which is how many episodes?
Too many.
How long are the episodes?
An hour.
An hour.
Do you know how much
Some
reading
an hour
you
and a
can
half.
get a whole book done while sitting there watching?
And
So all I'm saying is I've just replaced TV with books, and that's it. So TV are my books now. I would if Insecure came out with a book, send it my way.
I'm good. Game of Thrones has books.
I'm not really into that.
So here's the thing. So in that.
Sorry, how was your week?
Friend.
I'm so sorry. Wait a minute, hold on. How was your week? We didn't just bypass. Well, that is very like the middle child, just bypass them. Anyway, I'm so
Until
sorry.
they need me.
This is true.
So here's the thing. I've recently started doing Pilates.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm trying to lose weight and gain muscle, but I also want to like lean and tone. And
Yeah.
Pilates is like the best to do that. So
Right.
1 week I do lifting and another week that I do Pilates. And what I have come to see is I now see why Pilates is kind of like labeled as like an upper echelon, upper class thing. Those classes are expensive.
Yes, I remember looking it up. It was like 3 classes for $129
a
week.
So the place that I go to is $35 a class.
Mm.
So I'm spending $75 a week for
Yeah.
this class.
But I heard it's really good because it's kind of like equal to calisthenics because you're mainly doing your body weight.
Exactly.
You know
But that for the month, that's a car note.
Yeah, so it's
Well, depending
140
on the car.
It's 140 for the month. But then if I go, like if I do,
But if it's 75 for the week.
I'm only going every other week.
Yeah, she's
Oh,
not
that's
doing
right,
it.
because you did say you were okay. I'm
Because
sorry. Okay.
unlimited is like $199. It makes no sense for me to buy a monthly session if
Yeah.
I'm literally only taking 4 classes
That's true.
a month.
Okay, I'm with you.
So I took my 3rd Pilates class yesterday, and I can feel it. Like even as I'm moving now, things are starting to like hurt in the belly area.
Yeah.
So my week's going great.
That's good.
But that means it's progress. Pain is progress. It means it's doing good.
Remember what I told you I learned in class that you need pain receptors. Like you may think that, pain is letting you know that.
Yes.
What did I tell you that day? Pain is. What did I say that day?
Help her.
Help me.
Help
What did I say?
me.
Pain is just a part of it. You need the pain. That's just-
Yeah.
Pain is progress. You already said it.
Yeah, for sure.
They know it, but I don't know if you guys know. I love a good reality show. There's not one that actually there's quite a few that I haven't watched, but I love a good one. So we're going to do a couple recaps. So this past, whenever it was, part 3 of Married to Medicine. The reunion. I don't like to really speak on people's marriages and relationships or whatever because I don't want anybody to speak on mine. But overall, did you watch it?
No, I haven't. But listen, I catch up on TikTok. So I'm pretty sure I'm up to date from the TikTok clips. The last one I remember seeing is where Quad and Sweet Tea got into it. Is that where we're at?
Yep.
Yes.
I'm up to date.
So did you see on TikTok where a couple episodes before the finale, there was an altercation between Greg and King? Well, King said, "You need to apologize to my wife. Yeah. That was disrespectful," and it kind of got into an attempted assault.
I've never heard of attempted assault.
Do you feel that King was right to say what he said and did what he did to Greg?
Say what he said for sure. Of course, anything from there is going to escalate because you're talking about grown men full of testosterone and whatnot. I think Greg needs to learn to stop addressing Quad directly. Mm-hmm. He's done that several times before. Maybe before he thought it was okay, but she's got a whole man in her life. And he's a man's man. You know what I mean? So you got to address the man the same way Sweet Tea wouldn't go to King. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Let the girls yap, and then if you got something to say, most of the men stay out of it when it's the women. Yeah. So it was given Peter, and he needed to stay out of women's business. You know what I mean? So, he doesn't need to address Quad directly ever. It's disrespectful and it's old hurt, and it was just, you could tell he had that on. He's still feeling some type of way. He wants that old thing back. Let's just be honest.
It just sounds like maybe him and Quad never really had the closure that they truly need.
They got it. Greg, he's just angry. I mean, have you seen King?
I mean, like the true close. I mean, because they were showing some of the older episodes of because I forget how bad their marriage was. Yeah. At least the parts that they let us see. Yes. Right. Like when they flash back to the episode of him foaming at the mouth on the floor. And I got embarrassed for her all over again. But honestly, I wouldn't have invited both couples on the trip. They're not in a space to coexist. Because Quad and Sweet Tea are barely existing in the same space. So then now you bring the men in, and then you see Kingin, come in with his king pecs. Right. Okay, I would feel some type of way as well. I would definitely say when the altercation took place on the beach, I understand King saying that he wanted him to apologize to Quad, but it was the tone kind of which. And King said it a little bit that I think that wasn't the right setting. They're out drinking. I definitely think the conversation needed to be had, but not in that setting. Because I don't think the tone was necessarily there. Yeah. And based on how Greg had already been talking, he wasn't going to receive it.
I think two things. One, I think most of them are not in their 40s and their 50s.
Yeah, they're
y'all too old to not be able to get along. Right.
Yeah.
That I'm sorry. And you're being what is he? Something to do with therapy.
He's a psychiatrist, which blows.
So you should be able to understand your own feelings that are going through. Y'all, that happening shouldn't have been an issue. Yeah. Two, I think Greg was surprised because, as you said, for the longest he's been used to speaking to Quad in a certain manner. Right. And even though Quad will pop back, it's not in a manner that he was used to seeing from King. Right. And so when he said it, and I'm with King, he was like, y'all just need to work it out. And then Greg instigated because Greg was like, yeah, I told her she needed to shut her effing mouth. Because y'all literally were on a good note. He's saying y'all need to work it out. Y'all need to fix it. And then Greg was like, well, yeah, I told her to shut her effing mouth. And King was like, oh, you said that to her? Oh, then you need to apologize. Right. Yeah. And so I feel like Greg has came from a place of, to me, verbally disrespecting, regardless of whether it's a wife, it's a female. Right. Verbally disrespecting a female that when another male came up to him and said, hey, that doesn't need to happen, then he either wants to do like a chihuahua, then he wants to bark, and then when he realized that he's going up against a Great Dane, then he want to flee and do an attempted assault.
Right. Speaking of him barking, these songs he keeps singing, I am the secondhand embarrassment that is on my face for this man as he's trying to sing these songs.
It's Sweet Tea in the back. Yapping him up. It's her in the back, like, yeah, babe. Like, come on, Sweet Tea. Like, you already. What is her real name? What is her name?
Letitia.
Is it Letitia?
Letitia.
her in the back hyping him up. It's like, girl,
It's
like
a lot.
you know good well. But
Yeah.
he said that's his way to vent. Instead of writing in a diary, he raps and.
Yeah. Well, look, I know you're into fashion. Like, speaking about the reunion. What did you think about everybody's outfit? Because I was clocking everybody except for clocking that T. Because I thought her outfit was, like, just not...
Letitia?
Yeah, not on par with everyone else. I think everybody else was...
You know how, like, you do, like a Galentine's thing, and you say, okay, everybody wear, like, red or pink, and then everybody comes up in red and pink, and then she'll show up in yellow, and it's cute, but it ain't the thing.
Like that's what we
like separately.
Well, no, because Quad had on like a baby blue.
But it was a theme.
It was
it was supposed to be like a modern Bridgerton theme. So you had the long gowns, you had the like extravagant, like either where there'd be like
over exaggerated sleeves.
It was, and it kind of gave that. I feel like if her dress was long and had a train. But it was because it was short. And
but it's also the shape. I think like whoever picked that
it
didn't.
She should have had something up here. I would have went with some kind of a strap because it's a lot of girls.
Well, she's top heavy like me, so you want to still make sure being top heavy. It's still flattering.
But then you want to go in a little bit, and then she should have had it come out like an hourglass to kind of create the silhouette that's not there.
Yeah.
Whoa!
But when you don't have the body shape, you wear clothing.
The dress was not fitting to her body type. So whoever picked it out did not consider.
Because silhouette me, please.
Correct. I also would have went with a different hairstyle.
Oh yes.
So, but
I mean, I almost didn't hate it because I love the puffiness of it because that definitely was giving.
Yes, but I would have done
something
the
different
Bantu knots. I probably would have done a braid. I probably would have done Fulani braids in the front, and then I would have done the puffiness in the back because it gives Bridgerton back here, but this was kind of like.
But overall, she was still very pretty. Like I won't knock that, but it didn't seem like it went with the theme of everyone.
Yes.
Kind of like when they had the actual Bridgerton ball, and then I think Simone showed up in what Toya described as a prom dress. Mm-hmm. It was very nice.
It was nice.
It just wasn't.
It wasn't on theme.
It wasn't on theme.
But I'm curious about what next season is going to look like. Are they both going to be? Surely.
I think they're all coming back.
I hope when I'm like in my late 40s and 50s that I'm not like can't be in the same room as this girl because this I hope I'm not. You don't get but 80 years if you're good. I'm not finna spend 6 months hating a girl that has nothing to do with my current marriage right now. So I feel like they could get along.
I hate Contessa and Heavenly fell out as bad as they did.
Yeah, but they seem like they're going to.
But they always do that. They make up and they'll.
Heavenly, Heavenly meant what she said in the. I mean, but maybe she.
But Heavenly kind of does that, and Heavenly's my girl. She's my favorite on there, actually. I really like Heavenly, but she's just one of those that as soon as she thinks it, she's going to say it, and it gets her into a lot of trouble.
Heavenly has no filter.
I give her a lot of grace because Heavenly reminds me of myself. I may just not go
have a filter.
I would say I don't go as hard. Yes. I will filter mine. I don't just straight out hurt people's feelings, but I can understand in the moment of just like,
yeah. And I don't always think that she means it with malice. I think sometimes she's just playing, but she goes too far. Way too far. That's when Daddy be like, get off there. And she don't
love
know
him.
I do love
he is my favorite guy on the show. I love Dr. Damon.
I think Eugene's my favorite.
I like Eugene.
I do like Eugene. I do like
Daddy's my favorite. But he's just so quiet. That's just the only thing I.
But here's the thing. I just feel like he has like that. It's like that quiet authority.
But it's like when he's just
thunders. Exactly. Listen, if that thunderstorm ever roll in, it'll be one of those. Hey, y'all be quiet. Daddy talking. Y'all be quiet. I love it. I love that. And I still love that he lets her be her.
Right.
Yes.
But then like when he tell her to be quiet, like, hey baby, like you're getting a little much, it's time to calm down. I love that because she still respects him as the head of their household. On that line.
No, I like Eugene. He's just not my favorite.
I
like Eugene.
The other one I want to bring up is, and we'll talk about maybe Beverly Hills later because they're still going through the reunion. So let's finish that.
Oh yeah, we
haven't seen any of that.
Then you'll have some time to catch up.
But the other one I want to chit chat is Real Housewives of Atlanta. That one just came back. We're a couple of episodes in. The one that recently aired, we knew before the season aired that Kenya was no longer on the show for whatever reason. I didn't honestly know what it was. But then this episode comes and now we see why Kenya's no longer on the show.
Yeah.
And if TikTok hasn't filled you in, basically there's a girl that Kenya
Bree, right?
Yeah, Britt.
Brit, okay.
Didn't get along since the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
Since Kenya showed up, she upgraded her ring, so she just had on, it looked like just a regular engagement ring that wasn't a band. And so Kenya made the point, oh, is this your engagement? She's like, no, this is my wedding ring. And she thought that was being shady. I would have asked the same question because there wasn't a band on there. Fast forward, they're at a dinner. Kenya, I don't even know if Kenya said anything that was like...
I didn't feel like it warranted the reaction.
They say something, they get into an argument, and as they're leaving, Britt says to some point, I got a pistol.
Oh, I did see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Kenya apparently went to production and was like, she basically threatened me with a pistol, what are you going to do about it? And there was no repercussions for Britt, and they just proceeded as usual. Fast forward to Kenya's hair salon opening, and she brings out this 18 by 24 photos. First is of just her being a video vixen, and then apparently the second poster was screenshots of her giving fellatio.
Kenya did that?
Yes. And to men, and that was a screenshot. Apparently the video's out there somewhere. So she just took a screenshot, and from that, everybody was like, oh, you went too far, and Bravo then made a decision to stop.
I feel like there's something behind with them, because it doesn't sound like anything deep for y'all to even be at each other's throats like that. Like, I remember watching those few episodes, I was like, why do they hate each other? So that's why I was like, maybe they knew each other from way back when, or maybe behind the scenes there's some issues, because it didn't warrant all of that. Like,
having a question about whether that's an engagement ring or a wedding ring, to me didn't warrant the fallout. And then her saying she got a pistol over y'all having an argument. I'm sorry, you can't tell me you got a gun on me and then I'm just not going to do it.
Well, they brought up an old clip of
this day and age.
Kenya, way back when, and she was in the closet with one of her friends. I can't remember the guy's name. And she was talking about somebody, she got into it on the show, and she was like, she doesn't want me to bring mine, and she literally goes in the closet, pulls out her gun case, and opens it.
That doesn't help her case.
They were basically saying, here you are saying something about her having a gun, and you did the same thing, and even more worse because you brought the gun out on camera.
Yeah.
Now, I could probably get my hand slapped for this, but so be it. Okay, who cares? Number one, I guess I didn't think it was as bad, and hear me completely out, and this is why. It's like the video was already out there.
I agree with you.
The video was already out there. So it used to be like when Kim K used to get upset because people used to be like, oh, well, you got the fellatio video with Ray J. Like, and she used to be upset when people were... It's all over the internet.
I need to look up more, because I thought revenge porn was just like if you're my man and I send you a video of me or of us having sex, and you have it, and then you distribute it to other people.
Well, that's when, like, lawfully you can get in trouble.
Right.
Kim is not lawfully, I don't think, going to get in trouble because this video is already circulating.
Right. So that's why I don't understand why they were trying to say she's guilty of revenge porn, because I thought revenge porn was just the person who you sent it to.
Because obviously it's out there if Kenya hasn't.
Right.
Okay, so it's already out here on the internet.
Yeah.
She's just highlighting.
She's just showing
your
who she was.
activities.
Do I think she should have gotten kicked off the show? No. Do I think she should have got maybe a little suspension?
Yeah, a little slap on the hand.
Hey, we're gonna take you for the show that you were in, that you played it. We're not gonna pay you for that show.
Episode, yeah.
But do I think it was and it's not like Bravo. I mean, I watched the episode. Bravo didn't show it.
I really wish that Kenya kind of could have rose above it and kind of been like, you're not even on my level, because I'm an OG on the show. You just got here, so I'm not going to even stoop down to your level. I wish she would have took that route. Kenya always matches the energy or goes lower. With everybody she's gotten into it, but now you're finally an OG on the show.
Yeah,
I would have acted like you got to come correct to me. Like, I would have paid her peons. I would have went around the girl, would have been like, I would act like she wasn't even there.
I would have did something petty, like as soon as the girl showed up, I would have had security kick her out. Like, if I'm going to embarrass you in a different way. Like, I don't want you at my event. You know what I'm saying? I probably would have still invited you and then acted surprised when you showed up and then had security kick you out. There are so many different ways.
I would have done it at my opening.
Right.
No.
So forever.
Because she was upset because she was like, they didn't even show.
And it takes the moment off of your...
Of the salon. She said that, but I'm just like, you kind of distracted.
But it got her in a lot of trouble, too, because I don't think she's opening the salons anymore. And then CVS, or is it Sally's, was threatening to take her stuff out of the store.
Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you're still disparaging a woman. and you have salons who are the main consumers of your products.
Yes.
I just wish Kenya would realize, like, you're up
You're a
here,
big
babe.
deal.
Like, you used to be, what was it, Miss Universe, Miss USA? What was it? Which one?
One of them pageants.
One of them. You were the second black Miss USA. Like, act like it. Like, she keeps trying to, you don't have
And
to
it was
bar with everybody.
I get her wanting to get the girl back. And
I don't.
No, I meant like not in that way. Not in that way.
Big deal. I would not. I literally wouldn't have even
Stoop to her
you
level.
Can't
Like,
even breathe my same air.
Right.
I don't even breathe the same CO2. I don't breathe the same oxygen as you. Like we're not. I'm not even
the
finna
hand slap
bother.
is definitely warranted just because of the planning that you went into to go print out this naked girl's body.
Yeah, I hate she did that.
Like I just would. Maybe it would have been something I just would have showed the girls on the side on my phone.
I don't know it at all.
I'm just trying to wrap my head around her thought process, which I can't because I wouldn't. Like I wouldn't have done it. Like not in that way.
Yeah,
like,
I get that she was frustrated because apparently she said she definitely went and talked to production after that happened. And production claimed they were going to do like an investigation and nothing came from it. So I get that she feels that she feel like even nervous or scared, but hire a bodyguard. Like if you're really concerned about her quote unquote having a pistol or whatever, having whatever, then hire a bodyguard. Also, you like the Real Housewives is known for throwing daggers and swords with your words.
Right. Give her a good read.
Well,
Exactly.
that's Portia, because Portia has thrown hands before.
She did.
And Nene used to grab that wig. Didn't Nene grab that wig?
She
one
shifted
time?
her wig.
It was a shift.
It was a shift.
Just a shifting of the atmosphere.
Shift.
So Nene was known for her read.
I
So she should have went to
love-
Nene for a good read if she
Yeah,
didn't know what to do.
yeah.
But yeah, it was such a petty thing to do that was just, it made her look bad, even if she didn't get kicked off the show.
Yeah.
It made her look bad.
Oh no, it definitely made her look bad. I think there were definitely other ways to handle it. I mean, I don't think she should have been kicked off for it because I mean it's a video that's already out there. But the fact that you put it on display the way that you did, I definitely think she needed some kind
Suspension.
of reprimand. But in the climate that we live in, America is unforgiving.
Yeah. All right, so I think that's enough reality show.
Yes.
I have some things, but we'll save that for
We'll see you
next
next
time.
episode.
So now we have reached the point in the episode that is actually my favorite, and it is called Send It Sis. This is the point where you guys can be involved. All of your questions, if you need advice, whether that is money, marriage, life, dating, whatever, go ahead and send it to us. I will put in our Instagram if you want to send it via Instagram, or our email address if you're just like, hey, email address, send it. If you don't want us to put your name, just say, hey, make it anonymous, and we will kind of do them here.
Yeah.
Give you guys all the advice. So definitely make sure to put those in, whether that's email or DM, and as it says, go ahead and send it, sis. All right, we're gonna wrap this up with really quickly. Maybe either something you're reading, like a book you're reading, and then how are you going to end this week on a positive note? I will go first. I've been on this John Mars, the author we read in our February book club. So I read When You Disappeared, love it. So I don't know what his next book is that I'm going to read from him, but I'm going to pick up that one. And then ending on a positive note, I'm trying to finish moving my mother-in-law here. I'm going to make, I think, one more trip to Mississippi. I'm going for emotional support only. I'm not lifting a thing.
Okay.
And so hopefully by Saturday we'll have her completely moved in.
Awesome.
Gloria?
I'm currently reading Gray Huffington. She's an independent black author, and I'm reading Mackay. It is the third book in the Berkeley Bread series. And as far as the week is, just continue to be divinely aligned and take it slow.
Divinely aligned.
That's a tattoo.
I'm stealing that.
Oh.
That's it.
All right, Faith, on you.
I'm gonna be honest. I know I had this book goal of like reading so many books per month. I think it was supposed to be 2 because my goal was to be 24 books, and I was gonna do 3 in December because I actually wanted to hit 25. I am not currently reading any book right now. I know I'm gonna read our book club book starting next week.
Yes.
I just haven't picked up a new one. The only thing I've been reading is the Bible, but it's getting juicy.
Oh.
Angels be sleeping with them.
All right.
The Nephilim, the whole 9 or whatever. It's a whole bop if you really read it. So no, I'm just mainly reading the Bible, but I'll start up a new book next week. So next time I'll have a good suggestion for you.
Next time.
All
Great.
Wrapping up the week with just drinking my water is the goal this week.
I thought you were going to say wine.
No, drinking my
Lord,
water.
Drink your water and mind your
Drinking
business.
my water, minding my business, and letting the skin glow, honey. That's all I'm focused on this week.
Sounds like a good plan.
Got it. Okay. All right, well, guys, well, with that being said, make sure that on all the platforms, whether that is YouTube, podcasts, wherever we else decide to put it, sign up for notifications so you don't miss the next one. And with all that being said, I'm going to catch you guys later.
See you guys.
Later.